watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to The 7. I am Elizabeth Kubel. Let's get a look at the 7 big stories right now. Topping the list, the change from the CDC impacting everyone in our area. The CDC just cut down on the number of days people who test positive for COVID need to isolate. The CDC says people with the virus can leave isolation after just 5 days instead of 10. That is the old isolation requirement. Also, the CDC now saying people exposed to the virus can leave quarantine after 5 days as well. CDC officials are saying the guidance is in line with growing evidence the virus is most infectious in the 2 days before and the 3 days after you began showing symptoms. Want to learn more? Head to WATE.com. Our next Big 7 story surrounds the ongoing search for a person of interest after a chase involving a U-Haul. Last night's chase spanned 2 counties, many of you asking us what happened. And here is what we know right now. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office says everything started when someone in Claxton called 911 to report someone who was stealing things. We're told a chase followed, ending in Powell, the U-Haul abandoned on Verona Road. Before the chase came to an end, a Loudoun County deputy reportedly almost run over. The person behind the wheel has still not been found. However, authorities did find a wallet. It did contain the ID of Elgin Weaver. The name also on the rental agreement with U-Haul, but he was supposed to return the vehicle on the 21st. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office says Weaver is a person of interest right now. The investigation continues tonight. Keep your eyes peeled. That is the message behind this next Big 7 story. Authorities are still on the lookout for a murder suspect out of Georgia who could be in East Tennessee tonight. Take a really good look right here at your screen. The Monroe County Sheriff says Brandon Wiseman was spotted in the Englewood, Guger area, an area we're told he has a business tied to. A police chase ensuing. The sheriff saying Wiseman let his sister out in the process before he crossed the county line. More recently, Wiseman's SUV was spotted in Monroe County near the Madisonville city limits. He is described as being 5'10", 177 pounds. If you see Wiseman or a burgundy Nissan Pathfinder, it has Tennessee tags, you need to call 911 right away. Our next Big 7 story takes us to the scene of an armed robbery. Jefferson City Police say it happened at Security Finance on Broadway Boulevard near the Waffle House. Police say they are looking for 2 men in connection to this crime at the personal loan lender. Both men described as being around 6 feet tall, wearing orange clothes, and both were told were armed. Jefferson City Police add they are on the lookout for an older maroon car, possibly a white car. If you can help police, you are asked to pick up the phone and call 911. This next Big 7 story takes you to the scene of a raging inferno. People escaping a house fire in the 5000 block of Sims Road this morning. That is near Montgomery Village Apartments. Take a look right here. The home fully engulfed in flames. You see it right there. The driveway leading up to the house too narrow, and this created some problems.
For us, the challenges have been, not having hydrants in the near vicinity.
Now, no one was hurt, and the Red Cross is helping this displaced family. No word yet on what caused that fire tonight. Our next Big 7 story deals with the post-Christmas rush to the dumpster. Employees at solid waste facilities across Knox County say this week is their Super Bowl. It was bumper to bumper just to get into the parking lots. Many were dumping cardboard boxes, wrapping paper, gift bags from the holidays. Zach Johnson, the operations manager for all 7 of the county's solid waste convenience centers, says one dumpster bin in particular is getting some extra foot traffic.
The pandemic's actually increased the amount of packages being delivered to people's homes.
And all 7 of the convenience centers in Knox County are open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. through Thursday. Then they will close for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day before picking back up with their normal schedule next week. Our final Big 7 story tonight puts us on the road to the Music City. The Music City Bowl is just 3 days away now. It is an opportunity for Hendon Hooker to leave a lasting memory for Vols fans. The quarterback is flying up the ranks of the Vols single-season record book. The senior has thrown for 26 touchdowns, which is the 7th most all-time. Josh Heupel says it didn't go perfect to start for the quarterback, but he continued to put his nose down and compete, and it all paid off for the 23-year-old.
he's continuing to get better in everything that he's doing throughout the course of the season.
And Hooker will have a chance to become the 4th Vol all-time to throw a touchdown pass in 12 straight games in the Music City Bowl on Thursday. And while we're talking about the Vols, be sure to tune into WATE 6 on your side Wednesday night at 7:30 as we take you down the road to Music City. We'll be previewing Tennessee's first bowl game under Coach Josh Heupel, hearing from the head football coach and star players. Again, this is all coming up Wednesday at 7:30 right here on WATE. All right, time now to check in with 6 on your side Storm Team meteorologist Ken Weathers. Ken, what can we expect for the rest of the night?
Elizabeth, staying mild.
Talk to you soon, Ken. Thank you. We are continuing now to monitor the wildfire in neighboring North Carolina tonight. The fire, as we have been telling you, is burning near Grandfather Mountain, which is a little over 30 miles from the Tennessee state line. At last update from the U.S. Forest Service today, the 350-acre wildfire is 20% contained. It was reported on Christmas Eve. Several trails remain closed, and the Forest Service asking people to avoid the Lost Cove Wilderness Study area until the fire is fully contained. Cancellations in the face of COVID-19. More than 2,000 flights canceled today as the Omicron variant continues to spread. Alaska Airlines and American Airlines among the companies with the most cancellations. More than 1,500 flights into, out of, or in the U.S. were canceled yesterday. By the way, we did check McGee Tyson Airport's website today. While there were a handful of cancellations locally, most flights are still listed as on time. Auto safety regulators stepping up different investigations into engine fires surrounding some Hyundais and Kias. Today, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said at least 9 recalls have already been made to address numerous engine problems in recent years. But there could be more. The NHTSA adds a new engineering analysis investigation covers more than 3 million vehicles from the 2011 through 2016 model years. Another recall could follow. The agency has received 161 reports of engine fires, some happening in vehicles that had already been recalled. One U.S. Catholic leader looking to Africa to ease a clergy shortage in rural Alabama. Reverend Abanulo putting the skills he learned in his African homeland to use to benefit the small Wedowi community. The Associated Press says that during Abanulo's 18 years in the U.S., he has filled various chaplain and pastor roles across the country. While fewer Americans are entering seminaries, Africa is the Catholic Church's fastest growing region, meaning its seminaries are, quote, fairly full. Get this, people spent more this holiday season, 8.5% more to be precise, according to MasterCard Spending Pulse. This growth was the fastest pace in 17 years, and it exceeded expectations. Not only that, but holiday sales this time around were up 10.7% compared to 2019, which of course was before the pandemic. So what drove all of those sales? Clothing, jewelry, and electronics topped the list. Do you have a New Year's resolution to hike more? If you do, here's a chance to go ahead and get things started. IAMS Nature Center reminding people it will hold its annual New Year's Day hike on January 1st. IAMS says the 5-mile hike will begin at 10 that morning. Just park at Means Quarry. One hike not enough? Think about joining the IAMS Hiking Club. The lion cubs that were born just days before Christmas at Zoo Knoxville are improving. You may recall the cubs were delivered by emergency C-section surgery on the 21st. In total, 4 cubs were delivered, but 2 of them did not survive. The 2 that did survive were healthy and vocal, and everything is on the up and up.
And we've ended up with two babies that are just doing gangbusters.
And we also spoke with Phil Colclough, who you just heard from there, about naming the lion cubs. We are told the cats have not yet been named, but of course we will let you know as soon as that happens. Still to come tonight on The 7. Documents say someone fails to get a loaded gun through airport security. We have the story of what happened just down the road in Nashville. That's coming up.
People have been asking, when is it going to feel like winter again? Late Sunday, temperatures will be dropping, and highs this time next week only in the 40s.
Because it does not feel like winter right now.
Not yet. It will be.
Yes, it will. Ken, thank you very much. Now it's time to check on what is trending. The top stories on WATE.com. Up first, a continuing Knox County Sheriff's Office investigation that started over the weekend. We told you when human remains were found off Andrew Johnson Highway Saturday afternoon. Major crimes detectives, forensic personnel, and the medical examiner's office confirmed the remains to be human. However, they have not yet determined age, gender, or time of death. Sheriff Tom Spengler says the remains were taken to the Regional Forensic Center where they will now be examined. He was wrapped around her finger. Right now, the story of how a Morristown father died a month after his daughter was born, still trending strong. Tristan Lemke died while he was trying to help a crash victim earlier in the month. He was a good Samaritan whose life was cut short. Tristan's widow, Taylor, says she is thankful for her huge support system while she deals with this unimaginable loss. And the story of how a Georgia couple welcomed in quadruplets to the world on Christmas Day is trending tonight. Mariah and Jose Marquez calling this a Christmas miracle after struggling with fertility issues for years. The quadruplets are now being cared for in a neonatal intensive care unit for premature infants. And if you were wondering, the triplets are made up of 3 boys and a girl. Now we are looking around the state for you. Our first stop tonight is in Nashville. A loaded gun and marijuana found at a Nashville International Airport checkpoint. This happened last Thursday when holiday travel was in full swing. A warrant says Eduardo da Cumos Jr. of California was arrested. He reportedly gave permission for his bags to be searched after a gun was seen inside a carry-on bag with an X-ray machine. A Glock 48 found with a round in the chamber. Da Cumos Jr. is facing drug and weapons charges tonight. A Tri-Cities area man returns home on Christmas Eve to find a stranger, and this stranger was not Santa Claus. The Johnson City man telling authorities he found a man later identified as Ethan Plumley eating and drinking in his bed. Not to mention, some items were reported damaged or stolen. The St. Paul, Virginia man is charged with aggravated burglary. He was being held on a $5,000 bond at last update. And now to Cookeville, where some lucky person won $1 million playing the lottery on Christmas. This winning Powerball ticket was bought at the Circle K along East Spring Street in Cookeville. The Powerball jackpot sitting at $416 million right now, and there is another drawing at 11 tonight. Still to come on the 7, it is a Tennessee treasure many of you drive by every day. We have the history of Old Gray Cemetery coming up. But first, we are previewing ABC's The Year 2021 after the break. Stay with us, everyone. You're watching The 7 on WATE 6 on your side. Welcome back, everyone. A new primetime special hosted by Robin Roberts will look back on the trends and events that define 2021. We see how America is reopening and rebuilding after the pandemic, but also spends time on the breakout stars of popular culture. The year 2021 throws a spotlight on new technology, but also celebrates milestones in sports. Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon has a preview of what you can watch tonight on WATE 6 on your side. Now, ABC's The Year 2021 airs tonight at 9 right here on WATE 6 on your side. And for tonight's Tennessee Treasure, we travel just a few blocks down Broadway from our WATE studios. Tonight, we take you to the Old Gray Cemetery, and if you didn't know, it is named in honor of Thomas Gray, an English poet. According to the Old Gray website, the first person buried at the cemetery was William Martin in 1851. He was killed in a cannon explosion during a celebration held on July 4th. Today, the Old Gray Cemetery occupies 13 acres along Broadway in North Knoxville. To learn more about the cemetery as well as tours, look for this story at WATE.com. We will also have a link to the cemetery's website for you there. And coming up tonight on WATE 6 on your side news at 11, what started as an ordinary Christmas morning quickly became anything but after a deck collapsed and a family pet had to be rescued. Ken?
Elizabeth, some spotty sprinkles overnight. We'll keep a close eye on that, how it evolves.
We know you will, Ken. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. We'll both see you back here tonight at 11.